Welcome to the podcast. I'm Santa Santina Gata for Give Out Gallery. Today, I want to talk about a worldwide epidemic that is sweeping our world, and that's the topic of suicide, depression, distress, anxiety. And my question is, listeners, esteemed listeners, what do you do to stir yourself up or to repel these very destructive and potentially harmful thoughts? What is in your arsenal? What is in your bag or basket to counter these thoughts so that you flip them? And they say that if you look into research, we're looking in almost 1 million people a year who take away their own lives. That's a lot of people in pain, and I want to address that today. If this describes you, please lift up your arm, lift up your hand, and say that there is help. That this is not a permanent um, condition. It can be changed just by thinking the right things. It's something we're all going through, but with the right tools, with the right knowledge, with the right self-talk, self-regulation, you can change this. When we look at different people in the world, there's a lot of options out there. So you don't have to stay in this deplorable, pedantic condition. What Give Out Gallery is about the way we live our life. It's a reflection on how we live our life. And there are uh, barometers, there are checks that we can have every morning and that I'm happy to help anyone with who reaches out to me through the site or join the email list. Give me your name, describe to me what you're going through, and I'm going to tell you specifically the things that you can do to stir yourself up so that you permanently stay away from these thoughts that are debilitating, that do not serve you, that are very dangerous. Number one, for example, solutions that I want to give you. Be careful how you start your day. Go outside. Nature, being in a park, has a soothing effect on the psyche. So make it a part of your repertoire to spend 20 minutes outside. If you can run, that's great. If you're going for a nice walk, take your pet with you. Go visit your grandmother who lives a kilometer away, and or take your bike. Do something outside. Go swimming. Number one, physical activity. Warm up that blood, heat it up, and then it soothes your mind. Exercise is very important. Stay social, and I don't mean by the phone. There was a point in time in everyone's life when cell phones did not exist. The phone was attached to the kitchen wall, and when it rang, people would run to the phone because they were so excited that someone was calling them. Get engaged person to person. Hone your interpersonal skills. You can talk to someone in your family, a brother or sister who is too lonely. You can talk to your parents. Have good conversations at the dinner table or bring them up. Go to church because at church there's people the same age group as you who do things that are very refreshing, things that you don't normally do during the week, but that give you hope, that give you strength, and that help you be a better person in your community. We need exposure today because if nobody knows you, then you're in obscurity. And how can you interact by yourself? So get out of obscurity, make friends. It's so healthy for you. Spiritually, number three, we need, when we're alone, and we spend most of our time alone, have a repertoire of what you can do to lift your spirits up. Never stay in the condition that you are, that's defeative or that's not working for you. Never stay in that condition. Talk yourself right away. Okay, I'm feeling a bit blue, but I'm going to change that. Like I said, number one, exercise. Get your blood warmed up. Maybe do some jumping jacks, push-ups. You could do that right in your own basement. Or if you have a gym, that's excellent. Do a couple of curl-ups, sit-ups, push-ups, and get that blood flowing. Number two, when you wake up in the morning, say good morning to the people in your family. Put on a smile, even if you don't feel like it. Again, call a friend. Maybe visit someone in the hospital and bring something. Encourage others. Talk to others who are feeling down as well. Go to church. You're going to meet people there, your own age group. Another thing that you can do that is very practical in one's life is to have a checklist of things that you will do in the morning prepared. You pull that list out so that when you do get down, you have your checklist. Okay, I could do this, I can do this, I could do this. And within 15 minutes, you feel better. So some people like to sing. Well, pick up some of your favorite songs that are encouraging, or go on YouTube and play classical music that lifts your spirits. You could pray. Praying is not about religion. It's about connecting with the silence of the universe and listening to the voice of your heart. We are all together in this. And the resonation of your soul and mind is felt by others too. So don't be ashamed that you're down or you're blue. It's because we need each other. We need to encourage each other, which I'm trying to do through this podcast. So have a plan, a backup plan, so that you lift yourself out of your a state that is should not, you should not be staying there. It's okay to feel like that for a minute, but you have a remedy right away. It's like when you spill your coffee on the floor. The cup has to be picked up. If it was a ceramic cup, the pieces have to be picked up, and the liquid needs to be mopped up. You don't just leave it there and watch it all day. And the same is with toxic thoughts, depressive thoughts, suicidal thoughts. They need to be mitigated immediately. They need to be picked up. They need to be taken away. They need to be flushed. They need to be wiped up. Now, it's very, very good to have the notion of the Creator in your life. Why? Because the Creator is real. Well, I don't believe. Well, it doesn't matter if you believe. It's not about what you believe. It's what is factual, what is true. What I mean by that is the sun rotated. The day started. You remember it was nighttime last night? Well, the earth rotated around the sun. And it didn't do that whether you believed it or not. It happened. Winter and summer have been coming for thousands and thousands of years. It didn't matter whether you believed it or not. Nature brought it on. And two, I'm trying to say that nature in it has a patterning that is in a orderly way. What I mean by that is the stars are not falling on our heads. Everything is conducive for human life on earth. As well, you have a relationship with the Creator who is telling you through people like me, through the Bible, that God does exist to help you, to tell you this is the way that you should be living with yourself and with others so that you have peace, you have harmony, you have joy, and you thrive. You're healthy mentally, physically, spiritually in all these aspects. So that was the point of the Bible. It's a manual to help us live our lives. And it has nothing to do with religion. Because we all live together on earth, the way we treat ourselves and others is of utmost importance. And that's what I want to share with you today. King David, one of the kings who reigned in Israel for 40 years, it did the same thing I did, believed in God like billions of other believers in Christ, the Lord. And he wrote a psalm called Psalm 6. He went through his bout of depression, but he dealt with it in a healthy manner. He was a musician, so he would play music, and that would lighten his spirit. King David had a lot of problems with a lot of people who were haters, bullies, people wanted to kill him. He had a dysfunctional family. His sons wanted to kill him because he was a king and they wanted his position. He had trouble with lust, which is very destructive. He had trouble with everything. He had poor relational experiences, but he still reached out to the Creator, to the silence of the universe for help. He didn't stay in his condition, and he came out successfully. So he writes Psalm number 6. It's a prayer of faith in time of distress. Oh Lord, King David is crying out, do not get angry at me in your anger. Like, don't be angry with me. Don't punish me in your displeasure. Have mercy on me, O Lord, for I am weak. O Lord, heal me, for my bones are troubled. My soul also is greatly troubled. But you, O Lord, how long? How long, Lord? Return, O Lord, deliver me. Oh, save me for your mercy's sake. For in death there is no remembrance of you. If I die, God, what good does that do? So help me, King David is saying. In the grave, who will give you thanks? I'm weary with my groaning, and all night I make my bed swim, meaning he's crying. He's really not doing well. He's saying it right. All night I make my bed swim. I drench my couch with my tears. Well, there's nothing wrong with crying because crying is known to be very therapeutic. It's very healing. When was the last time you cried? My eyes waste away because of grief. I grow old because of all my enemies. Depart from me, all you workers of iniquity, for the Lord has heard the voice of my weeping. The Lord has heard my supplication. The Lord will receive my prayer. Let all my enemies be ashamed and greatly troubled, and let them turn back and be ashamed suddenly. So King David is crying out because he's having trouble with people who are persecuting him, and they're weighing on him, and he doesn't know how to deal with it. The discomfort of being bullied and pushed around. But he does use his instruments, he sings his songs, he approaches the Creator who sees everything. And in prayer, in this prayer to the Creator, asks him to go and take care of the situation. God can be everywhere, taking care of everyone, because vengeance is mine, says the Lord. I hope you've enjoyed this podcast, and I ask you please to share it with someone who needs it, and listen to the other podcasts for encouragement and direction for your life so that you have your best 2023. I'm Santa Santina Gata for Gavout Gallery.